Cinto is a very attractive project. We own 100% of, I guess, the rights to that project. And who, for those that have followed the story over the past, I guess, 18 months, we've released, very attractive channel samples, above 0.5% copper, extending up to about 30 meters, but also a number of surface samples above 1%. So we've got this about, 1 by 1 kilometre kind of mineralized area that we're very confident, I guess, demonstrates a potential copper system.
Welcome to Proactive Investors, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Kerry Stevenson. Today, I've asked the CEO of Solis Minerals, ASX code is SLM, to come on the channel. They are an explorer in Peru, fabulous jurisdiction. They're looking for copper. And if you don't realize it yet, there is a bit of a, I guess, a supply gap between supply and demand at the moment. And copper is at all-time highs, one that I am closely watching. They've got the drill permit in December. They've raised money, so they're in a really good position. But I want to ask Mitch about their latest project and what's going on. Mitch, welcome. What's happening?
Yeah, thanks very much, Kerry. Great to connect again. So look, as you mentioned, we received our drilling permit in early December for our Cinto project. Just as a bit of context on that, we also received our archaeology, our cultural and community approvals to commence drilling. Look, subsequently, the government just reached out in late December with a very narrow request concerning two communities that exist in the broader region. And with these two communities, one lacked census data and one lacked up-to-date georeferencing. So, look, we are extremely confident because we know the area very well. We've done our baseline social studies that I guess these two communities do not impact our intended exploration operations. But look, as you need to do, we're working collaboratively
It's January, hard one.
Yeah, just a few L's in that one to get it out. But look, just working with the mining agency to resolve these very quickly. We actually have a visit from the mining agency that we'll host this week on the 23rd of Jan. So just for shareholders, just giving them an update that, again, we can resolve this hopefully expeditiously. And look, we intend to be, or target to be drilling within 1 to 2 months, but obviously aiming for that to occur as quick as possible.
For those that might not know too much about Solis, can you just give us a really quick background of what you're looking for there and where you're at, what's happening in 26?
Yeah, sure thing. So look, Cinto is a very attractive project. We own 100% of, I guess, the rights to that project. And who, for those that have followed the story over the past, I guess, 18 months, we've released, very attractive channel samples, above 0.5% copper, extending up to about 30 meters, but also a number of surface samples above 1%. So we've got this about, 1 by 1 kilometre kind of mineralized area that we're very confident, I guess, demonstrates a potential copper system. And there are some also very attractive structural elements. So there's this very, I guess, famous Incapuccio fault system, which is associated with large porphyries in that area. We also have heavily mineralized breccia, tourmaline breccia, I guess, in that mineralized zone. So the fact that we're also next to Toquepala, so 10 kilometers away, and then 25 kilometers away from Quellaveco, we feel we're in a very, very good district. And just in terms of drill, I guess, preparedness, we've done our drill pad preparation. We've got the accesses complete. So look, as soon as we get that final tick of approval to commence drilling, we'll mobilise very quickly and yeah, get at it.
Give us, what's your biggest challenge right now?
Look, so the biggest challenge is we just need to work through these final, what we call observations from the mining agency, just to give them the confidence that which we're very confident about, in that our impact on surrounding communities is not a risk to, I guess, those local areas. And then once we get through that, yeah, commence drilling. So very confident we can commence that shortly.
And Mitch, I mentioned at the start that the copper price is starting to run. What's your view? Good commodity to be in at the moment. People should sit up and take notice. They're all talking about gold and silver, but I think copper is also very important to watch at the moment.
Yeah, so look, I mean, as you mentioned at the start, copper is at all-time high. So, $13,000 a ton or $6 a pound. That's a great backdrop for us to be exploring into. And we think it's also very, I guess, positive for the outlook for Peru in 2026. And You may have picked up in December. So FMG, large Australian company, they purchased Alta Copper in the country for about 150 million. We also see Ozquest, Element 29, and Pukoi doing very well with early stage projects above 100 mil market cap and some significantly higher. So overall, we think the strategy is on point, and now we just need to deliver and get those exploration hits. And again, we're very confident that we can do that in 2026. So a good place to be.
Great to chat to you today. Thanks for joining me on Proactive, and we look forward to the updates in 2026.
Yep. Thank you very much, Kerry. Speak soon.